So I went to my local bodybuilding pond just to see who wanted to play a game of catch. Boy, do we have a battle today. We got the Sony A7S III with the G Master 100 to 400 with the 2x teleconverter versus Canon R5 800mm Tony 11. They're both 800mm Tony 11s on the long end. Boy, did I get some footage today. I spent an hour, maybe two, in a snowstorm. We got magic, slow falling flakes. You wouldn't believe it.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
If you're wondering where I got such fantastic gear from today, it's of course from Camera Canada. Thank you so much for lending me the gear. I've had so much fun testing it out. This is on an open box sale. If you want it, as soon as I return it, you could buy it right now and they'll be like, oh, it's just in the back, I promise. And then they'll message me saying, send it back, you hippie. So, open box deal, pretty good deal. Not bad, thank you, Camera Canada. Pleasure to be a partner. So basically what I wanted to see today, what's the quality like if we do 4K 120p versus each other? How's HD 240p versus HD 120p? How do you just, we can do 4K 120p and also HD 120p. You're supposed to double it. It's your problem. And can Sony 4K hang with the 8K RAW? I find it's easier to edit than the C-Log. We'll do that as well, a little bit. C-Log versus S-Log. So as we played these first two clips of Robin's, Canon on your right, Sony on your left, I just gotta say, like, it's embarrassing to own a Sony camera. Just looking at how much sharper the Canon is, I don't know about colors, they look about different. They look a little magenta maybe on the Canon, but like, damn, that sharpness, that ain't fair. I mean, we're talking 8-bit faithful profile on the Canon versus Sony's best S-Log 3 10-bit 422. It's like you can't even spot a difference in the colors. The 10-bit is a myth, absolutely, unless you plan on putting a Fuji LUT on it or something. Get a life. Here's Canon C-Log 3 in HD 120p. I figured maybe that would be easier to edit. It's still pretty jumpy, not great, but it looks good. Does it look better than Sony's HD 240 frames per second? That's what we're witnessing now, much slower. Sony's warmer, but it's like a muddy warmness. Yeah, Sony colors are just always weird. There's something off, whether it's your skin, your face, your dog, a squirrel, everything, the sun, snow, nothing is ever right. Now I managed to capture the cutest moment in the history of Animal Planet. A squirrel eating something. Super cute. I think the Sony wins here. I like that footage. Something happened with the blacks, like we're in standard profile, or faithful, and it's just, the blacks are crushed. Sony just looks nice there. What a shot, Zone. You did it. Then I went for 8K 30p RAW, which I slowed 80% to 24p. Still, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. The shot, Canon refused to expose for it, and I refused to do it manually, punching in 8K for Sony 4K. Interesting. Is 8K worth it? Not really, ever. But RAW, I have no idea how to grade it. I'm just doing some shit in DaVinci, switching it to C-Log 2, and then I don't know what I'm doing. We got some slow mystical ducks. The snow is in focus, and then Sony pulled the focus to the duck, and it was mystical and magical as they kick the water behind, leaving their worries back there, heading into a future that is beneficial to all of mankind. And I like that. So here's something weird on the Canon. Do you see that little glitch? What was that? Am I just seeing that in DaVinci? I don't think so, because I can freeze frame it. That ain't right. That just happened, I think, on 2 of my clips. Thanks, asshole. Side by side with the Sony and the Canon. Which colors do you prefer? The Canon's definitely sharper, but that is a prime, and I'm using a 2x teleconverter, but Sony doesn't have options to get to 800 anyway, so I don't know, man. The Sony A7S III is definitely not the sharpest candle in the bunch, I'll tell you that much. I mean, it looks nice. It's a little muddy green looking, not the greatest, and then as we switch into the Canon, it's like, oh, that's how it should look. There it is. What have I done? Why did I buy Sony? I'm selling all my gear for silver. Do you have silver? And if you're curious how I'm doing this, I'm carrying them both. I have this Canon on my backpack clip, so that's with me. If I see something, I pull this out, and then this is attached to me. And then I'm shooting like this. Okay, got it. I put this between my legs, and then unattach this, shoot that. It works, except for when I slipped today with this extended piece of shit up here. I slipped on something, bam, right in the corner of my eye. And I have this fluffy hat that protects it, snuck right underneath. Zero protection. That hurt. It probably bruised. Am I bruised? I haven't even looked in the mirror yet. Is this good lighting? It was. So here's an example. Side by side, we got a robin. Slow snowfall just falling upon us, upon our dreams. And I'm just like, yeah, they both look good. The Canon's a little more contrasty, that's for sure. Then I switched into C-Log, HD 120 versus 4K 120. How's that happening? Did dynamic range increase improve our lives in any such way? Or did 8K RAW help us? The robin turned. That was a dick move, Robin. But then he started eating stuff. That was cool. He ate things. I'm saying, like, 30p wildlife is stupid. Never go below 60p. It's at 120 and up should be the minimum. Punching into 200%? Am I seeing it? Yeah, probably a little bit, but it's so much more shaky the slower your frame rate is. So don't even bother doing it. When it comes to stabilization, I mean, Sony with this combo with the 2x teleconverter, for the most part, it's okay, but every now and then you get this little micro jitter that wasn't happening before I put this teleconverter on. So I don't know, but I like this lens so much more with the teleconverter, having 800mm. And when it comes to Canon autofocus, it just did it. You saw the glitch again. That happened. It got this cardinal, like, his eye was behind the stick and it latched right on. I was like, wow, look at you, Canon. You actually did it. And for Sony, I just manual focus. It was a different cardinal in a different spot. And then I lost it. Don't worry about that. Then the cardinal again on the Canon. I don't know, man. I'll tell you this. That animal detect, it's fantastic when it does work, but there are moments where it won't know what to do. And sometimes you have the shot and then it leaves, it goes into a stick in front. And I have a lot of moments where there's something in front of the animal, but like that can be a nice shot with the animal peeking behind something. It's like, okay, you gotta take control manually focusing. So I don't know that I even like this autofocus. It's like, it's so nice when you have a bird out in the open, and if something ever does fly, I might be able to catch it. I doubt it on 800mm. It's gonna fly out of your shot immediately, but if you get that 600mm Tony 11, or the 100 to 500, you might have something. Now here's a shot I couldn't get with the Canon. Little white-breasted nuthatcher over here, because it was within the minimum focus distance. I even zoomed out a bit on the Sony, so it's like, well, there we have it. We got something nice that the Canon couldn't get. I tried after it was out of focus. I was like, ah, damn it. So that got me curious. What's the minimum focus distance? And I did it on the Sony first, and then I tried on the Canon. I couldn't even get that same thing. I had to go to something off in the distance, and it was like, it's not even, like, it was so far away. I had to travel by bus to see that plant. The Canon's actually a pleasure to use, though. Like, you got your custom mode dials. One thing I don't like is you can't seem to save many custom settings to the buttons. It feels like I can't put APS-C mode on a button. Just boom, snap into it. I could be wrong, but I couldn't see a way to do it. I don't know, there's some things that are just weird, but it feels good, it's light, it's expensive as hell, but the lenses aren't too bad for price-wise. As we look at all these birds, I wanted that cardinal. I'm trying out so hard, but it would snatch on to every other bird. I was like, come on, get the red one. He's red. He's against a white background. You know what I want? And this little guy is like, I'll take it. I'm cute. You are. but you're not red. It's not racist. It's not bird racial behavior here. When it comes to having a prime, I mean, I prefer the zooms, but I'm getting used to it. A prime is doable. It's a little harder to find that animal initially, but like once you get it, usually the shot is what I want anyway. Like usually I'm zooming right to the max. There's been a couple times today actually that I was back at like 200 on the Sony, so there are uses for it, but if you only have a prime, it's like, okay, yeah, I can do it. I can dig it. Look at this magical little chickadee. I don't know why that looks so good. It's just full frame magic. You can't go wrong with it. There's something about it. It's worth the wait in gold. I don't know, man. I see a lot of Olympus footage with that 300 Pro lens, the Tony 4. It doesn't look good to me. I don't know. Maybe they're doing something wrong. It's not right. I'd like to think, like, I've got lots of great footage with the Micro Four Thirds and an even cheaper lens, but I don't know. Whenever I see it, I'm just like, it's like bridge cam results. Whereas full frame, every time I use them, I'm like, oh wow, look at that. I might have to take this out versus the Fuji, see how it compares. I have a feeling it'll be a thrashing, but the Fuji has magic on her side, so you can't really compete. The duck will do something different. It'll wiggle. Don't do that. One nice thing I like about the Canon is just the ISO performance doesn't freak out. Like right here we're seeing Sony in auto ISO and it was at roughly 3200. It's unusable, noisy. Then I switched it into 12,800, it's second ISO, and then it cleans up, but it also softens up, I think. It's not the same as like base ISO. So Canon, like, you don't have to worry about it. You can just auto ISO your way through life. That's a fun time. Now this last shot I got with the Sony first, and I was like, okay, we're framing this. I even zoomed out a bit, trying to get the tip of that flower in, so the whole scene is in. We got 3 birds, best friends, brothers. Even though the robin was adopted, they care for each other. And it's like, okay, that is glorious. And then I switched to the Canon. It was like, I don't know, which shot do you prefer? The tighter one? Like there's more detail on that front bird now. We don't see the whole scene. There was no option because we're 800mm prime. I don't know. Initially when I was shooting it, I was like, the Sony footage just looks better. It's the better shot creatively. Had more in it. Oh, you dickhead bird. Wow, look at that. That is rude. That is rude. Birds are just mean. Straight up mean people. And then the Sony back. Oh yeah, that's 240p versus 120p. That's why the snow, it didn't just get really windy. But yeah, they both look good. I think I actually prefer the Canon in every single scene except that one squirrel footage. That was beautiful. But yeah, they're both good shots. I mean, that's 4K 120p versus HD 240p, and really it's probably 720p Sony trying to upscale it and lie to us. Oh, they flew. Oh, that is cute. But he stayed. He stayed to brave the storm when they wouldn't. He's the hero of our journey. So as I sit here with thousands of dollars wasted into Sony gear, I ponder my future and what I'm doing with my life. I think after seeing this, I'm not super happy with this. I think I'm gonna sell this and the converter, potentially getting the Sony 200 to 600. I'd rather have that, and this is worth more money, so I could get that and money and just have that, probably end up selling it anyway, but to test it, because this thing, I don't know, I'm not super impressed. Maybe the 1.4 times converter would make magic happen and it wouldn't be as shaky, but not super impressed. Will I buy into Canon? I don't know, I kind of want to, but I'll be honest with you, I like the Fuji setup. I have no lens on it and my battery's gonna die. That's good times. But I actually like the back button focus method and then manually focusing. You just can't track a damn thing ever. Just don't plan on doing it. I've done the odd shot with a hawk slowly gliding and it can work at times, but barely. I kind of like that. It's reliable. Little single spots, like boom, we're there. Slight adjust if you need to. You often don't. Whereas like the Canon autofocus, it's nice when it works, but it's always in the back of your mind that it's gonna jump off to something. But yeah, the files, If you're an 8-bit, I can edit everything. The 4K 120p, even 8K RAW. It's a little jittery, but I can edit it. Not bad. It's just if you want the C-Log 3, you need a new computer. That hurts. So well done, Canon. I'm pretty impressed. You're lightweight, but not cheap. But you're in the ballpark. I saw it used, Canon R5 and a 600mm Tony 11, in the ballpark of like $5,200. If there's wiggle room in that deal, I could pounce. I might pounce. So, what do you think? Not bad. Sony, you suck. Fuji, can you battle the Canon? That scares me. I just keep wanting to try these new items. I still need a Nikon Z9. That will be the ultimate leap. One day with the 100 to 400, maybe a little teleconverter. Will that make it shaky? Yes. Don't do it. Let me know which items you are buying through my affiliate links. I make 17 cents per sale. I picked a good job. Am I even recording? Yep. Battery still flashing. I'm going to leave after you buy a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. And the items. You subscribing? Just to unsub? To throw off the algorithm? That's mean.